took the attitude for a number of years that I didn't deserve a grand piano, that I wasn't good enough, and maybe that's why I looked at pianos for 15 years, 20 years, because while I always loved them, I felt I had to be at the upper echelon of playing to deserve it. But then I realized, you only live once, and maybe it's the process of discovery which is just as important as getting there. What I'm finding now, first of all, I think the beautiful piano is making me play a lot better, number one. Number two, even if it didn't, who cares? The point is that, I'm living my life and playing on such a gorgeous instrument that I get a tremendous amount of direct satisfaction from that. And at the same time, yes, it's very inspiring. I find that the pianos that were made in the vintage era, maybe the 1920s, 30s, 40s, etc., just seem to have a tone which I think is very difficult to reproduce today. It tends to be, in my opinion, a round, rich sound. I spent a good number of years searching for a piano that I would just really fall in love with. And I visited many new showrooms that sold new and used pianos. I visited a number of rebuilders. What happened with Lindeblad, I had come here about 8 years ago, 8 years prior, and I think, I'm not exactly sure, but I think I had just seen a little ad, figured I'd take a trip to New Jersey from New York City, and I remembered that I found it a very intimate, comfortable setting, and I liked the pianos I saw here a lot. I had subsequently spent the next number of years just kind of looking, casually looking, with the thought of actually perhaps purchasing someday. And when I decided to make the purchase a few months ago, again, I went back to various rebuilders and then came here. And when I walked in here, I just felt that I was correct in my opinion from years back, both in terms of the Lindeblad family being very gracious and understanding and patient. And also I just felt that these pianos somehow were superior to what I had played elsewhere. I've asked myself that same question. Why should their pianos be any different than another rebuilder? But I think the bottom line, it's not just pieces of wood and metal. I think it's more than that. Perhaps some unknown element, perhaps some creative element, combination of that, skill, experience, and also understanding what the customer is looking for. Now, what I like in a piano might be somewhat different than someone else. And the Lindeblads were very careful to listen to what I was looking for and actually make adjustments on the piano, which is very possible to do to help me attain that sound and tone that I was really searching out. Pianos can sound very bright, and on the other end of the spectrum they can sound more mellow, and some people like a bright sound, some like a mellow sound. For me, I've always liked that mellow kind of vintage sound. So I started off by finding a piano in this showroom that had that basic sound. But what I've learned over the years, there's also a lot that can be done to a piano once you actually have it in your house, and you can make adjustments on the hammers, on the strings, on a number of variables, on the action, to really fine-tune it to what you're looking for. That doesn't mean anything was wrong with the piano when I bought it. I thought a beautiful first-rate piano was delivered to me. Mr. Lindeblad worked with me on fine-tuning that piano, both in the showroom and then also, very importantly, when I got home, I had certain very minor adjustments I wanted done, and he worked with me and with my technician to make sure that I was 100% pleased with the final product. It wasn't just delivered, dropped off, see you later. And to this day, he's very concerned that I'm extremely happy, beyond happy. That's just a part of my life that I really can't live without, and he ensures that that takes place. If I have any concerns or questions and call him, he's always there for me to back me up and give guidance and make suggestions, and that's extremely important. I just have always loved piano with a passion. I think there's nothing like the piano in terms of the sounds and the chords and in my case, I really enjoy jazz and jazz improvisation, and I work with a couple of very fine teachers in the area. In my profession, I'm a physical therapist by trade. I feel I'm a very creative person that really needs a balance in my life. So when I come home and sit down at the piano, it just affords me that combination that I'm looking for, especially the piano I have now, because it's just such a joy to play, and the sounds, and I can't even speak highly enough about it. You know, I'm glad I spent my money on the piano rather than a therapist. You know, I could easily have done that, and that's how I get my therapy. I come home and I just hear these beautiful sounds.